Welcome to day one of IDLive. Here to kick off the show with a little southern drawl is IDLive's Vice President of Sales, Coach Mike Wade.
Hey team, I want to be the first person to welcome you to the first ever IDLive. What a historic moment we have right now, and we're so excited that you have taken the time to join us with this. I would say this real quickly. Make sure you have a pen and a notebook, because we're going to fill you with so much information to help equip you to come out of here in 2 days to be ready to take your business to the next level. But I want you to think of something, just go with me for just a moment. Imagine you're sitting in an auditorium where there's thousands of people. It could be an auditorium from a hotel, a convention center, a stadium, whatever it is. And we've gathered together to learn more about IDLive and to celebrate what you all have done. Before we would get started, we would take a moment to recognize our military, past and current, for what they're doing to protect us in so many ways. We'd also recognize all the first responders for what they're doing, and all the medical professionals that have served us and are currently serving us in such a trying time. We would recognize those people. I want you to just imagine that for a moment. We were sitting in that arena, we would give them a standing ovation and show our respect for what they've done. So now that we've done that, we want to kick this day off, and I tell you, we're gonna hear it today. In this short, brief time we're together, we're gonna hear about the business aspects, how to make your business better. What is the plan of action? We're gonna hear about stories that have inspired people and making an impact in people's lives across the country. And also from a customer standpoint and a product standpoint, we're gonna delve into all those pieces. And speaking of product, we're gonna go there right now. And the person that I want to bring on board with us to talk about that is this. I've known this industry for 25 years. I've been a part of this. I've been around a lot of people in marketing. I want to tell you, this is the best I have ever seen from a marketing aspect in their position. First of all, always has a heart for you all. What can we do to make it the best it can possibly be each and every day? Has the character and unbelievable talent to make this opportunity the best that it can possibly be. And it's an honor and a pleasure to get to work with our Vice President of Marketing, Anna Osuna.
Thank you, Coach. Well, let's get this pajama party started. I am sure that all of you want to know what is new in IDLive. Back in February, we launched our new flavor for Orange Energy, and it has received an incredible welcome from both associates and customers. Let me tell you this, after 6 months of development, more than 15 iterations, and more than 50 leaders trying it and approving it, it is about time for us to introduce to all of you our new Mixed Berry Energy, or should I say, Remixed Berry Energy? Let's take a look.
Wake up. I know you're exhausted, but what are you going to do about it? If you're thinking of grabbing some old energy drink, you might want to think again. Most energy drinks are either loaded with harmful artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame, or they contain more sugar than you should be consuming in an entire day. Pair that with excess amounts of low-quality caffeine, and you're setting yourself up to crash hard. What you need is a healthier option. That's why you've got to check out IDLive Energy. Instead of sugar or harmful artificial ingredients, IDLive Energy is sweetened with healthy, high-quality stevia. But the real power comes from the combination of traditional, fast-acting caffeine and encapsulated, slow-release caffeine, giving you a quick boost followed by sustained energy for up to 6 hours with no crash. So ditch that sugar-filled mess and order your IDLive Energy today for a healthy, delicious boost that hits you fast and is meant to last with no crash. Now available, IDLive's new and improved Remixed Berry Energy. Remixed Berry Energy.
So now that that's out of my system, there is a brand new Mixed Berry Energy, and it is so good. Honestly, it's the cutest shade of pink. If I could wear it, I would. And if that isn't awesome enough, we have a brand new flavor in one of our most popular products. I know you might be guessing, but you probably saw a mystery drink video back in February. In this video, people were drinking it and loving it and feeling like I'm on an island, just like with the wind in their hair. It's that good. It's that good. So without further ado, we are so excited to present to you a brand new flavor of Slim Plus. Watch this.
Hey, you know those unhealthy weight management supplements you're always experimenting with?
Yeah?
Try this healthy one instead.
Tastes so fruity!
I feel so happy!
Oh look, unicorns!
Let's ride them!
Have you ever seen such a beautiful pineapple grove?
And the most glorious orange trees!
I'll race you to the next sip!
You're on!
Does that happen every time?
Every time.
The all-new Slim Plus Fruit Punch. It's a knockout.
Wow, 2 new game-changing flavors. I had the opportunity to sample both of these flavors, and I'll tell you what, they're absolutely delicious. And you're gonna get to hear from some leaders who also sampled these products and hear what they have to say about them. But I'll tell you what, we're putting all of the pieces together. When you look at it, our ingredients, second to none. Our formulations, second to none. And now you add on these 2 great tasting flavors. This is gonna be a game changer for all of us, for IDLive, and for your business. And you know what? I believe this leads us into a very special moment as a movement with so much opportunity ahead of us and for us. And you know what? I can't think of anyone better to speak to the moment we're in and the opportunity ahead of us. When I think of our next speaker and his wife, you know, one phrase comes to mind: difference makers. As people, as a family, in this industry, historic 25-year career, that phrase embodies everything that they do. They make a difference in the lives of others, and they do it all with such humility. We are so thankful for their leadership in IDLive. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Todd Cash.
Hey guys, Todd Cash. Excited to share with you today Virtual Revolution. Excited to be with you this weekend and excited about all the announcements, all the excitement that we have in the IDLive movement, where we're going. Just introduced some new flavors. You guys heard that. Just got a chance to see that. Incredible things happening here, and it really creates a special moment in time. You know, we've got a moment in time in our country right now that we'll never forget, that we'll work through and we'll get through. And there's a moment in time in IDLive of where we are in this movement as we take it across the country. And I want to speak to that just for a few minutes here on how special this is. When you get to a point where you look and you've got everything in place to explode. This company has not exploded yet. There's what we call momentum and pre-momentum. We're a company that's pre-momentum. We haven't taken off yet. And good companies don't. They have to build a foundation first. They have to have the products. They have to have the infrastructure, all of those things that allow you to go from good to great. And we have those in place. You guys see the product enhancements, the new VIP customer position, the new app, the new website, all the things that have been put in place for us to be successful are now. And we have that. So it really comes down to what we do with it. And that's what this weekend is about. This is a launch pad for what we're going to do the rest of the year and for years to come. And, you know, I look back on Donna and I for 25 years in this industry, and I've learned a lot, and I've had a chance to experience a lot. You know, ups and downs, when you have momentum, when you don't have momentum. And I really understand when you start in a company at this time, when a company is this size, it's small, hasn't hit momentum yet, what it takes to take advantage of that. And that's what I want to speak to. And it was an incredible time, you know, because we decided to work at that time. We decided when things may not have been perfect or we didn't have everything in place, we believed in the vision, we believed in where we were going, and we were able to take advantage of that by working hard during that time. So this is a special time. A lot of people, you know, they get in a company that's 20, 25 years old. They'll never understand what those first people went through, the pioneers that it took to build that foundation, to lay the foundation that everyone else comes in and builds upon. So we're in a special place here. Everybody that's listening to this today has the opportunity to be on the foundation, to build your building. However big you want it to be, however small, whatever it is, you have the opportunity to be on that foundation of growth. And I understand that now. And it's important to share that with you. And I'm excited about that. There's some things that we looked at when we came to IDLive. Number one, I had a great relationship with our founder, Logan Stout. He and I have been together for 12, 14 years as coaches. And I knew Logan. I knew his heart. I knew what type of person he was. I knew what he valued in life. I knew how he treated people. I knew what type of work ethic that he had. And so it was a natural fit for us to be involved with IDLive. You'll never escape the leadership and the vision at the top. And whatever it is you're involved in, you're never going to escape that influence. We have a great leader. We've got a great visionary, a great founder, a great worker. And so it started with that. And then the execution of that vision of what you want to accomplish with this platform, this ID Nutrition platform, it takes a great corporate team that can execute that vision. We have an incredible corporate team that does that every day. And you can see that by what's been added here, not only this weekend, but the things that have been added to this entire opportunity for all of us, products and opportunity. Incredible product platform. For this type of business to work, it has to be product driven. The products have to work. They have to work at a high level. All those things have to come together. You look at ID Nutrition, just that platform, the ability to take an assessment and create your own vitamins. That's incredible. You add the DNA component to that. That's cutting edge. You're now dialing in and giving people their best opportunity to succeed with their body, to look, feel, and perform better. So that platform is incredible. That creates the opportunity. That creates, if we're willing to share with people and share products and share opportunities, share the movement with people, that creates an opportunity. That's in place here as well. And so we have all of those field leadership. I look at the leaders that are in this field, the people, the pioneers, the people that have laid this foundation to bring us to this moment in time is incredible. Starts with their character, starts with their integrity and how they want to come alongside and help people. That's the heartbeat of our culture, and that puts us at this point in time as well. So that's in place. And then again, you look at the timing of where we are, pre-momentum, getting ready to explode and take this movement across the country is really once in a lifetime as far as I'm concerned. You get one chance to be the first. That's not to entice anybody or to promise anybody anything, but it's true. You get one chance to be at the front end of that, to be a part of that. If you come in 25 years later, you don't have that chance to be a part of the first, like we do at this specific moment in time. And so how do we take advantage of that? That's the most important thing, because here's what's going to happen. With the things that I've talked about, the leadership, the execution of the vision, all those things, our products are going to get better. Our systems are going to get better. We're going to go from good to great. And that's what great companies do. They don't start great. They go from good to great. And they build on the foundation that's solid, which is what we have. That's going to happen. So how do we take advantage of that? How did Donna and I take advantage of that 25 years ago? It starts with you finding purpose, finding a real reason. Now listen, the products are easy. If people want to look, feel, and perform better, they get started on products here. And that may be all that they choose to do. And that's great, because that's going to affect their lives. It's going to help them do life better, which is our heartbeat. That's our movement. So that's one part of it. But financially, if somebody wants to take advantage of that, then it starts with a purpose. Understanding what it is that you want to accomplish. I can tell you our purpose was this. I wanted a couple of $100s a month, just enough to maybe make a house or a car payment. And so that was the start of our purpose. But here's what comes from finding purpose and finding reason: the discipline, the desire, the focus, the energy. All of the things that are necessary to succeed in anything in life are going to come from that purpose. You can be motivated a little while on the outside from another source, another person, but it's not lasting. To be able to take advantage of this moment means setting down and understanding, this is what I want to do. And understanding with a husband or a wife, this is what we want to achieve. The next thing is this: when you have a strong purpose, you're willing to sacrifice. You're willing to sacrifice some time that we already are busy in our lives, you're willing to sacrifice some time to be able to put a little bit of effort and energy to get this started on a part-time basis. This is a part-time business. It's not a full-time business for most people, but it requires some sacrifice. And then willingness to work. You know, this is a work program. You're going to hear that from our founder. This is network marketing, not work marketing, as he calls it, but it's true. You guys know that anything to be successful is going to take some work. There's no smoke and mirrors, nothing for free. You know, we build a customer base. We share products with people. We help people be successful. We spend time with people. That takes work and energy. But if you do that, you're able to take advantage. And lastly is to get into action. Once you've established what it is you want to accomplish, you're willing to put some time into it and sacrifice, you're going to go to work, then it means to get into action. It's not to let time pass and go back over those things, but say, you know what, we've got it nailed down. This is what we want to do. We understand the timing of the movement. We can be at the foundation of what's going to be incredible and go to work. That would be what I would tell you to be successful, because in the end, we'll look back. We'll look back at the time we spent in life. I started this industry at 32 years old. I'm now 56 years old. And Donna and I can truly look back and say this made a huge difference because of the few things that I just shared with you. We set some time, we found a purpose, and we got into action. And it made all the difference in the world. So I want to encourage you with that. I want to encourage you with the timing of where we're at. There's so many ways for people to enjoy and be affected by IDLive. You know, I've always said this. If people want to be successful, they want to work. If people feel like they can believe in something, and you can believe in our products are going to work. They're incredible. You can believe in that. If you can believe and then feel like you belong to something, and then you feel like you become something along the way. That's what I talk about. Believe, belong, become. I believe in what we're doing. I want to belong to it. And because I'm associated with that, I'm becoming better in those areas every day. That's a special time in life, and it's a special time in our company. So appreciate you guys spending a little time. It's going to be a great rest of the weekend and a great rest of the year. So good night and God bless.
Wow, we all heard it from Todd Cash. You can believe in our products because our products work. And I sure hope that you feel that you belong to something special, to this movement where all of us are trying and looking to become better. And talking about products and transformation, we have exciting news about our launch pack. Since December, it became a game changer and the go-to play for those looking for a weight management solution or weight loss solution. Early this year, we released the two options between lean capsules and lean drink mix. Well, starting today, you have the option to further customize your launch pack by selecting any flavor of energy to be included in it. Yeah, I know, any flavor of Slim Plus and any flavor of energy to build your own launch pack tailored to your needs. And all of that for the same $124.99 retail price. And to hear more about how to win with the launch pack, it is my honor to introduce to you to one of my dear friends. She can move mountains with the power of her passion and determination. I think what we all love the most about her is that she keeps it real. She's very transparent, and yes, she is very funny. Please help me welcome my dear friend, Denise Salvi.
Hey everybody, Denise Salvi, and I am fired up to talk to you about the launch pack today. Now, the power in the launch pack lies in its simplicity for both the customer and the associate. Now, I believe the first step in winning is beginning, just getting started. And in today's world, the average customer looking for a weight loss solution is bombarded with thousands of different solutions. Now, they will find themselves studying until they are so thoroughly confused, filled with self-doubt, fear creeps in that they actually freeze up and do nothing at all. And that's where you, the associate, comes in with a simple solution like the launch pack. Now, IDLive is unique in that we offer personalized nutrition and DNA. But the average person may not be ready for such a powerful step, but they are ready for the launch pack. Now, what I love about the launch pack is that it keeps things simple. Customers can set measurable, realistic goals. The products are easy to use. They have a great associate as their guide, and their chances of success are really, really high. Now, oddly enough, the same thing that keeps a new customer from getting started on their weight loss journey is often the same thing that keeps an associate from getting started building their business. And we call it paralysis by analysis. Look it up. I promise it's a real thing. But it's just where the business builder makes it harder than it needs to be. So how cool is it that the very tool that can help a brand new customer get off to a great start reaching their health and wellness goals is also the same tool that can help an associate gain massive momentum in their business? I believe that by using the launch pack and following 3 simple steps, you can gain massive momentum in your IDLive business. So the first step is that you need to understand where your potential customers are coming from. You've got to be able to put yourself in their shoes. The second step is that you've got to know and understand the products that are in the launch pack yourself, but better yet, you've got to know how to help a potential customer understand those products. And then the third step is you've got to become a powerful storyteller. You have got to know stories of people who have already had success with the products that are found in the launch pack. So let's start with number 1. You've got to know where your customers are coming from. Now, we already talked about the fact that they're overwhelmed and they're having a hard time just getting started. But do you know what it's like to be overweight? Do you know what it's like to walk around and feel uncomfortable in your clothes or not like what you see in the mirror? Have you ever failed before? Have you ever spent hundreds of dollars only to have something not work? See, when you can be open and transparent with your potential customers, you're giving them permission to do the same. And you can create a true connection. And this is going to eliminate that feeling of being worried about appearing salesy that a lot of associates have when they first start a business like ours. When you create a true connection, worrying about being salesy goes out the window. So that's your first step. The second step is that you've got to know and understand the products that are in the launch pack. And that's really easy. You do that by using the products. You know how it feels and the kind of results that you can get. But you've also got to help your customers know and understand that as well. Now, if we confuse them, we're going to lose them. So you don't have to be a scientist or a doctor in order to explain how awesome and powerful these products can be. You know, IDLive Corporate does a great job of explaining the science for us. You know, using our apps and our website, we've got great videos and PDF files that we can send to potential customers that are going to help them understand quickly if the ingredients are safe for them and if those particular products can be a safe and effective option for them. So that's taken care of. Now, where you come in is painting vision for the potential customer on how they can feel and what they could do by utilizing these products. So, for example, they need to know that Slim Plus is like duct tape for the mouth when they come home from work and they want to eat everything on the counter that their kids have left out from the day. They need to know that they can pop a sleep strip in their mouth at night and sleep like a husband, because we all know babies don't sleep, right? But that they can wake up refreshed, ready to tackle their day and get done twice as much as they're used to. They need to know that Slim Plus and Lean are not magic, but they're close, right? You've got to have some powerful sentences that can help your potential customers see themselves utilizing these products and being successful, right? Okay, third step, and this is my most favorite. As an associate, every single day, you need to go out armed with products in one pocket and a powerful story in the other pocket. Okay? Now listen, sampling is key. You need to get products into people's bodies so they can start to experience everything that you've already told them about. All right? But samples without a good story is kind of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without the peanut butter, right? So like the products are awesome, they're amazing, they taste great, they're sweet, just like jelly, but they don't stick with you if they don't have a powerful story to go along with them. Just like the peanut butter in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich makes the sandwich stick together, right? The story is what's going to help that customer really, make a connection with the product and what it could do for them. Stories like the busy high school teacher and coach that has food allergies and sensitivity that was able to jump on the products in the launch pack, lose 14 pounds by taking the products successfully, not eating out for fast food anymore, and staying active. That high school coach can now shop in their own closet, right? Or maybe the story of the fireman who's been having a really hard time keeping up with their coworkers at work and fitting into small spaces that he needs to do in order to do his job well. And then he's so tired that when he comes home from work, he doesn't have the energy to play with his kids anymore. Maybe they need to hear his story, how he took the products correctly. He started eating 6 small meals a day and adding in more veggies and drinking water. And he was exercising 3 times a week and he lost 35 pounds, right? So you've always got to go out armed with products in one pocket and a powerful story in the other pocket. And you've got to use them together because that's what's gonna stick with your potential customers when you're talking to them about product. Now, you've got to keep it simple and you've got to keep it easy. Using the launch pack and those 3 steps, understanding where your customers are coming from, understanding and having knowledge of the products and how to explain them to potential customers, and then being a powerful storyteller is what's going to help you be successful and your customers be successful. When customers get started on the launch pack, they're going to make small gains over time. They're going to have small steps of success. And that's going to lead them to wanting to try other products like, can you say personalized nutrition and DNA, right? Those customers are going to become lifelong product users and have great health and success. And then for the business builder, using the launch pack, you're giving them an easy step, an easy game plan to get started with, right? You can get people to hop on the launch pack, have quick success, start to see momentum in your business, and that's going to be encouraging and help the new business builder want to keep going. But remember, the power is found in the simplicity, and the first step to winning is beginning. So utilizing the launch pack is a great way to gain momentum in your business. Now, speaking of momentum, I am super excited to introduce my friend Ashley Cooper to you from Texas. Now, Ashley has not only had great success, long-lasting success on these products herself, but she has also been the top seller of launch packs in all of IDLive. Her story is going to simply blow you away, and I can't wait for you to meet her. Ashley, your turn.
Hey guys, I am so excited to share with you my personal results with the launch packs and the success that I've had on the business side with the launch packs. Prior to starting IDLive, I had lost 50 pounds. To date, I'm now down 60 pounds, but the best part, guys, is that I have kept it off. I'm leaner than I've ever been. I have never felt better, and I am so excited to have these in our toolbox to be able to go out there and help everyone out there that is looking for a solution. Back in December, whenever these launch packs launched, I knew that I had my hands on something special and I wanted to help as many people as I possibly could. So I set a ridiculous goal of 100. I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I just knew that I wanted to sell 100 because people needed these. So what did I do? Well, I put up my personal results because people want to see you. They want to see what you've done with it. I then started sharing my friends' results so that people could see it wasn't just me. There was a lot of people winning. And as people liked and commented and private messaged me, I just replied back, told them what it was, kept it short and sweet. No, it might have taken 3 to 8 touches before they said yes, but most people said yes. And guess what happened, guys? I crushed that goal of 100, and I think I ended at around 125 launch packs. I was so proud. But what made me even more proud, guys, is that my team did the same thing. They did exactly what I did. And when that happened, they got the success that I did. And so all of a sudden now we have whole team winning. I even took it up to another level and I started going live. And so I would go live a couple of days and then I would bring my team on with me to go live. And guys, people are watching. People are looking for a solution. And we all know they have to like you before they buy you. And so that was my plan. I just was very consistent on what I did. I shared, I was positive, and the results, guys, they speak for themselves. These launch packs are special. They work. People want them. You just have to go out there and share them. A Facebook post or just one results picture, guys, that's not gonna cut it. It's gonna take consistency of however you figure out to move them. And once you figure that out, stay on it and you will see launch pack after launch pack fly out the door.
Greetings, Earthlings. We are live from Mission Control Center at IDLive Corporate, here to tell you about a show special we have just for you. That's right, we have a Turbo Boost launch pack.
The Turbo Boost Launch Pack.
Going to get the launch pack that you know and love that you can build your own. But on top of that, we've given this a turbo boost of all 3 flavors that we've launched in 2020. That's the new Orange Energy, the new Mixed Berry Energy, and the brand new Slim Plus Fruit Punch. Now, also included with every single Turbo Boost launch pack are 3 times the loyalty points. That's right, triple loyalty points to be used as cash back towards future purchases. And for associates, we're throwing in something a little extra that you get 2 app credits to sample for your customers. So let's talk about pricing. Now, the value of this Turbo Boost launch pack is $234.96, but that's not what you're paying. Our standard customer pricing is $214.99, but it gets better. Our VIP pricing is $171.99, or as an associate, you only pay $159.99. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. It's valid from today through May 17th. Now, I am very honored to get to introduce to you the next person. She is OG IDLive. She built the old school, is what I'm saying here. Always something to learn from her. Coming straight from Houston, I am so humbled and honored to introduce to you Jennifer Marie.
Hi, everybody. This is Jennifer Moran, International Presidential Director with IDLive, and I'm super excited to be here with you today to talk to you about busting through your lid. Now, this is a topic I'm very familiar with, almost unfortunately, right? Because we all have lids that we need to bust through to get to that next level. Now, here at IDLive, we always say that we help people do life better. Physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and relationally. And ironically, it's in each of those areas of our life that oftentimes we have lids really screwed down in those areas that keep us from going to that next level in our life. In fact, John C. Maxwell, who is the world's leading expert on leadership. I mean, he has written countless bestsellers on leadership. And in fact, in his 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, which is his #1 best-selling book, he says this under the law of the lid. He says, leadership ability is the lid that determines a person's level of effectiveness. The lower an individual's ability to lead, the lower the lid on his or her potential. The higher the individual's ability to lead, then the higher the lid on his or her potential. Well, that's great and all, but I still wanted to know, how do I bust through that lid? Well, Jim Rohn takes us a little deeper. The late, great Jim Rohn, legendary motivational speaker and best-selling author. And he says this, your level of success will rarely exceed what? Your level of personal growth. He says success is something you attract by the person that you become. And you can't become more unless you grow. And you can't become more or get to that destination that you want to go unless you know where you are now. So that's what I want to talk about right now is, where did these lids come from? Why do we have them? How did they get there, right? Well, they started when you were really, really young. In fact, from the moment you're born until now, you have all these external influences on your life, don't you? Everybody is speaking into you and over you and about you, parents, teachers, coaches, siblings, friends, colleagues, coworkers, bosses. You even, watching movies or reading books or, going to church. You have all sorts of influences that are speaking into your life about what you should do with your life, who you should become, and what you're capable of, right? But quite honestly, all of this is just imaginary lids. They don't even really exist. Sometimes we think they do because maybe they were there for a time, but as we grow and evolve as leaders and as people, and just, live this journey that we call life, right? Some of those lids are removed and they're no longer there. And in fact, I've got a really cool video to prove this point. So check this out.
Training fleas requires a glass jar with a lid. The fleas are placed inside the jar and the lid is then sealed. They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then, when the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behavior is now set for the rest of their lives. And, when these fleas reproduce, their offspring will automatically follow their example.
That was crazy, wasn't it? Those fleas are just jumping out of the jar, but they screw that lid down and they figure out with their little flea brain just how high they can jump to not hurt themselves on that lid. Yet when that researcher removed that lid, little further down the road, the fleas still think that lid's there and they don't jump out of the jar. That's so crazy. And many of us are like that. We think we have this lid on our life that we can only do so much or only be so much. And that's just not true, right? So I want to help you guys kind of identify some of these lids. Maybe you want to sit and think about these for a while, but what are your belief blueprints? Like, what was said about money or career or any of that around you when you were younger? And what sort of blueprints did you lay down around that? What kind of societal pressures have come down on you? How about family expectations that you may have had put on you over the years? Maybe past experiences. How about failures, right? We've all had failures in our past. And with all that comes negativity, negative self-talk, fear, insecurities. And all of that can kind of keep us in our comfort zone and keep us in the jar to where we're not wanting to jump out and really become who we need to become. It's just really, really crazy. And I know this firsthand because I've been there. One of my favorite stories has to do with Logan Stout, our now, founder and CEO of IDLive. But back in 2005, he was part of my upline in a network marketing company that I had just joined. And I was working as a cardiovascular biotech rep at the time. And in my mind, I had arrived, right? I, had done everything that my Army Colonel doctor father and my journalist mother had told me to do, which was go to school, get a good job, raise a family. And I was living the dream. I was making more money than I'd ever made in my life as a biotech rep. And I had just sort of joined this network marketing company that I was a part of at the time to help my church build a church. I was doing it like a fundraiser. And I go and pick Logan Stout up from the airport to come do my very first business presentation. And we were getting to know each other in the car driving over. And he really challenged one of my lids financially. He looked over at me and he said, "So you're a biotech rep, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Pharmaceutical reps, they make a lot of money, don't they?" And I was like, yeah. And he goes, "So how much money do you make?" And I kind of thought initially, I was like, rude. He didn't really ask it that blunt, but he just said sort of ballpark to tell him. And I said, "Well, let's just say I make 6 figures a year." I was all proud of myself. And he said, "Oh, a year?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Huh." And I go, "You don't think that's a lot of money?" And he said, "Not really. I know some people who make 6 figures a month. I know some people who make 6 figures a week. I even know some people who make 6 figures a day." And I was like, really? I mean, my mind was blown. But over time, through personal development, through changing what my input is, right? Who I'm surrounding myself with, over time, over the course of 15 years, my blueprints have completely changed. I have busted through lids and gone to that next level time and time again for these simple reasons, that I really invested in personal development. I realized after I stopped blaming all the external factors, right? Whenever I would hit a wall, in terms of my success, I would tend to blame others for my lack of success, or blame the comp plan, or blame the product, or blame the whatever. Finally, one day I had to look in the mirror and realize I had to blame me. I wasn't going to move to that next level until I did some personal development. I wasn't ready for it, right? So here's some ways that you can definitely move to the next level. So first you want to, figure out, what books are you reading, right? What books are you reading? There's a lot of great books out there. I've listed some on a slide for you. Check those out. But let me tell you, these books have made a huge difference in my personal development. Mentors like Logan Stout, for example, even Jim Rohn, John Maxwell, Zig Ziglar. You don't have to know them personally, but they can still mentor you if you gobble up everything they do on audio, video, and in book form, right? Coaches. I've had so many great coaches throughout my network marketing career, and especially here at IDLive. We have so many great coaches, as you've seen throughout this entire event. Courses, invest in some courses. I'm involved in a mastermind group even, where I'm surrounded constantly by people who are way more successful than I am, but it gives me something to aspire to and really helps me tap in and think differently, and remove any remaining lids that I may have on my life. As best-selling author and philanthropist and motivational speaker Tony Robbins says, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? If you're not growing, you're dying. And so I, first of all, just want to close this by saying thank you and congratulations, because you're growing. I mean, today, just by you plugging into this event, by you being here with us, you are definitely busting through some lids and going to the next level. Speaking of that, I can't think of anybody who's a bigger lid lifter himself in terms of helping people change their lives, lift the lid off their lives, than this next speaker. I just love this man so much. In fact, the first time I ever saw him was on the cover of a magazine in Tyler, Texas. He and his sweet family were being featured because they are leaders in every aspect of their life, which is, again, what we do here at IDLive, right? It's not just physical and financial, but it's emotional, it's spiritual, and it's relational. And so please help me welcome National Presidential Director Keith O'Brien.
Friends, my name is Keith O'Brien, and I'm here to talk about getting it done. So What does it mean to get it done? What is the first thing we need to do? I believe the first thing we need to do is clarify our desired objective. We need to know why we are building a business. That is what's going to help us whenever we're frustrated or there's times of adversity. When we have laid it out there and we know what we're going after, that will help pull us into action, right? So it's important to have that. I had a wise man once tell me, when the why becomes strong enough, when your why becomes strong enough, the how-to becomes easier. And I firmly believe in that. So clarify your desired objective. The second thing that we need to do that's very important is go ahead and make peace with what's to come. Make peace with what's to come. The reality is there will be some adversity. There will be some frustrations. You know, when I was a high school special ed teacher and coach, and I started an online, I call it an online nutrition store, right? At the end of the day, that's what this is. And when I started that, I had buddies that worked in the oil field that made 3 times as much as me as a teacher and coach. And, you know, they gave me a little bit of a hard time. But I went ahead and made peace with that, and that's going to happen. And so the reality was, when I would get home from teaching and coaching, I was tired. And a lot of times when we get home from work, what we want to do is just play Xbox. And I did that and watch TV. I finally found out Xbox doesn't spit checks out. And the television, you know, watching other grown men live out their dreams on TV, I finally realized I'm a grown man and I still have dreams. So I put those things away and limited to distractions. You know, I had friends start telling me, hey man, I don't see you at the club, you know? And I said, well, I don't see you at the bank, right? So I firmly believe what we focus on grows. But to get back to my point, we have to make peace with what's to come. There will be some adversity at times. There will be some, days where it feels like there's nothing happening. So just go ahead and know. And then also you're gonna have awesome victories and you're gonna meet awesome people. So make peace with that. These things are going to happen over the course of you building your business. So I firmly believe massive action solves all problems. I mean, and another thing that I always think back on is, this is always stuck in my head: imperfect action is better than none. A lot of times people get in what we call paralysis from analysis. They think everything they say has to be perfect, every little thing, every detail, and that's just not reality. I mean, this video probably won't even be perfect, but that's okay. The imperfect action is better than none. And so, you know, I had a friend that I reached out to years ago about starting a business, and I said, hey man, do you want to slang these products? That was the dumbest thing ever. But you know what? He was a single dad of 3, working full time. He was struggling financially, and he responded back, I don't know, what is it? And now he is a great business builder on our team. So that was an imperfect action. I wouldn't say that now, but the point of that is, what I want you to get out of that is, taking action is better than no action at all. Again, imperfect action is better than none. Okay, so have passion, have belief. Those things go a long way. I mean, I've had friends become customers before and become associates before because they said, man, you just seem like you're so fired up about it. You know, you just seem like you believe in it so much. So, and you know, and you're so excited about it. And I firmly believe that that's contagious. And you know, sometimes we make it harder than what it is. I'm sitting here in my office, and I remember when a guy came through my front door right over there, and you know, he checked out our air conditioner and everything, and he worked for an air conditioner repair company, and he was leaving, and he said, well, Mr. O'Brien, that takes care of everything. And I said, hey man, let me ask you a question. Do you drink, you know, any type of energy drinks? And he said, yes. And so then I just took him into the kitchen and I sampled him, and he ended up becoming a customer and introduced us to someone else who was a great business builder. And you know what? That took 2 seconds of courage to spin around in my chair. And I almost didn't ask it, right? We're all human. But the thing is, after you get it out of your mouth, now we're in conversation. So a couple of my favorite questions are, hey, do you drink energy drinks? Or could you use extra income? And then just stare at them. They're going to say something, right? And so once you get it out, now we're in conversation. So, okay, what I really want to talk about now is called stuffing the pipe. This is a training that I do with our team a lot. And So stuffing the pipe, it always boils down to putting things in the pipe on a consistent basis, right? You have to understand lag time, and that if I do things now, things are going to happen later in my business. So I got a homework project for you. Go to Home Depot or Lowe's and purchase you a whiteboard. And at the very top, right, I will be a blank director by, let's just throw a date out there, August, so that what? Your so that is probably going to be different than a lot of people's. And that's okay. Everybody has a different reason. Again, a desired objective. So I will be a blank director by August, so that. So that is what you're attempting to accomplish. That's what you're going after. And then this month's goals. So each month, what is your goal in PCV? What is your goal in customers? How many customers do you want to have? How many associates? That's a visual reminder. So when I was a teacher and coach, I had a board up just like this. I had a whiteboard with this same information on there. And every day before I left school, I looked at that, and it was a reminder to me that I had to put things in the pipe every day. So what are different actions we can take? Making a list of people to talk to, contacting people, sampling others. You can probably think of a lot more, and that's fine. The more the merrier, the better. Follow up with others. Third party, introducing people who are interested to third party credibility. So that was a visual reminder. It can be as simple as, using my product in front of other people when I was teaching and coaching, using my product in front of others. So there are people who will go days without putting anything in the pipe, and then they wonder why later on nothing's happening in their business. And I'm going to bet on the person every time who is putting more in the pipe on a consistent basis over the person who maybe they just put something in the pipe every other day. Now that's a very simple concept that we can remember, but at the same time, it's very powerful. I firmly believe in that. I've always been big on the stuff in the pipe training, because at the end of the day, I believe that's what it always boils down to. So stuff the pipe on a consistent basis, and understand sometimes things are still in the pipe that maybe it might take 2 months, it may take 3 months before it comes out the other side. Another thing we like to do is create a list on Sundays. This is part of what we do to get it done. Again, that's our topic here. A list on Sundays. So what I mean by that is, again, going back to when I was teaching and coaching, and I ended up stepping away from teaching and coaching. I sat down with the principal. I said, hey man, I've surpassed my teaching income. And, in the beginning, I just set out to make a little bit of extra money. I was the guy sweating over getting some grilled chicken on my salad because it was an extra $4. Like, oh, I don't know, that's a deal breaker, man. So I just wanted a little extra income. And then as I continued to work hard in my business, and again, what we focus on grows, and I put the Xbox down and I turned the TV off and poured energy in my business to continue to grow. And one thing I always did was make a list on Sunday night. Who am I going to talk to? We don't have a boss here, so we have to challenge ourselves. Who am I going to talk to this week, and put maybe 10 names down and have a line drawn through every name by Friday. Another thing I always like to refer to is the baseball analogy. If a guy bats 300, he's going to the Hall of Fame. That means he went to the plate 10 times and he might have got 3 hits. So when you're talking to people, look at it that way. That's okay if only 3 people out of 10 say yes. And don't worry about the strikeouts, because all you have to remember is I have to step to the plate 10 times in order to get 3 hits. Okay? And another thing we talk about a lot on our team that we have it ingrained in them is Follow-Up Friday. So we call it Follow-Up Friday. Go back. That person who read the message yesterday, seen at 5:35 a.m. and p.m., whatever, and they never responded. It happens to all of us. I always say our problems are universal. It's just a matter of who can make it through them. We all have people say no. We all have people who don't show up to that healthy hour. Like, these things happen, and it goes up and down. It's just a matter of staying in the game and stuff in the pipe, because it literally does this. I'll make a funny hand motion here. We lose a lot of people down here. But what I always told myself is I just stay in the game and continue to stuff the pipe, there's another one of these coming. There's that person who's going to sign up, that customer that I'm going to get, if I just stay in the game and stuff the pipe. So Follow-Up Friday, I go back and I talk to people that I had talked to in the past. That person, again, I'll go back to who read that message. Hey man, that wasn't spam. I didn't get hacked. You'll be entertained by the responses you'll get. Some people will say, oh wow, okay man, I thought you were hacked. Sorry. Like, they literally think you got hacked. So Always end with a question. That's a nice little tip I'd like to give you. If you're ever inboxing people or messaging them or whatever, always end with a question. Don't leave it open-ended. Most people feel more inclined to respond to a question. Is that something you would be interested in? Would you like to look more at that, at this, at that, whatever? End with a question. So a lot of times sometimes it takes some strength. Like if someone shows me a little interest, but I'm following up and they're not really giving me much, I'll say, hey man, I work with about 3 people at a time. If you would like for me to take you off my list right now, I respect that. Just let me know. A lot of people will get back to you saying, oh, no, don't take me off the list. So that's another way you can follow up. But follow up is very important. So follow up Friday with the people that you talked to in the past. So, the thing is, over the next couple days here, you're going to hear from people who, they all started with a box on their front porch. They all started with that IDLive box. We all did. And just like you did. And what they did is they clarified their objective. They made peace with what was to come. And they punched fear right in the face. And they stuffed the pipe on a daily, consistent basis and eliminated distractions. And just took consistent action no matter what. If things seemed up, if things seemed down, just took consistent action. So that's what I challenge you to do. And let's get it done, friends. Let's get out there. Let's get it done. Okay, friends, so when I think of the next speaker, I think of someone who is very action-oriented and someone who is constantly evolving as a leader to better serve her team. It's my pleasure to introduce Dana Cantera.
Hi, and thank you, Keith. And thank you guys for watching. This is so exciting. Are you having fun? Well, we are about to take it up a notch and talk about ID nutrition and DNA. Yay! So let's jump right into ID nutrition. Let's talk a little bit about what it is. I know we all understand what it is, but how I communicate what it is. My number one tip for ID nutrition is keeping it simple. So we're going to talk about that. And then I will give you some tips on how I close sales with ID nutrition. And then we will jump into DNA. This is going to be fun. So I hope you're ready. Grab a pen and paper and let's go. So ID nutrition, of course, is our customized vitamins. Your understanding of it is important. So I do want to say that. But your ability to communicate everything you understand about it is not important. So the reason why it's important for you to know it is because you can go out there and speak with confidence, because people are going to buy into your confidence. They're not going to be buying into the science and the facts. And I know if you're a medical mind like me, that is hard to fathom and hard to believe, but you're just going to have to trust me on this. As a person that was previously in practice, I had to get away from all the science and just start sharing it with passion and enthusiasm and having that confidence, that science and confidence inside of me, but not necessarily telling everybody about it. So that is the most important thing when communicating what these customized vitamins are, is to know what it is, but you're going to communicate it with happiness, with enthusiasm, because that sells more than anything else. And then I'm going to say, let's walk through the assessment. You can do that in person. You can do that virtually through a medium like Zoom. You could even have them on speakerphone. You could be walking through your assessment while they're walking through theirs. There's lots of options to walk them through it, but I want to go through it with them so that they get to the end. All right, at the end, I'm just going to have them buy. I'm going to have them put it on scheduled delivery and buy. If there is any issue I come to at the end, I'm going to remember this training and say, we are going to keep it simple. So if somebody has an issue with the price, I'm going to, first of all, be shocked. And then I'm going to say, well, what is your health budget that we're trying to stay within? So if they can give you a number, perfect. Just adjust their recommendations to get under that number. So 3 tips that I do to make sure that I close the sale. One is when we get to the end, I will decrease all the recommendations to 1 to start off with. My only exception might be vitamin D, because it's perfectly fine for them to take 2 or 3 of those. Most people need more than just 1, but everything else, I don't want them to have pill shock when all of the pills come in, and I'm trying to get their budget down. And plus I just want them to start slowly on this process. So I'll decrease everything to 1. I'll remind them to put it on scheduled delivery. We'll talk about the benefits of that, of why they need to be on scheduled delivery. And then, most importantly, I'm gonna set up proper expectations. I'm gonna let them know in 3 to 4 months, we're gonna need to follow up. We're gonna need to go through this again just to see if anything changes. And I will put a date on my calendar that in 3 to 4 months, we are gonna follow up and go through this process again. Why that is so important is because psychologically, they now know, oh, I'm gonna be on this for 3 to 4 months. I'm gonna need to stay on this consistently before I see results. So those are my tips for closing that sale. Remember to keep it simple and just go out there and share it with passion. Speaking of passion, now we're gonna talk about DNA. This is something that I am super passionate about, so I am going to let you know how I communicate DNA, the test, to people, and just why it works. So when you understand the psychology of people, you will understand why people are getting such great results when they have their DNA report in front of them. So the way I communicate what the DNA report is I say this is the blueprint for how your body responds to nutrition, fitness, and vitamins. Pretty simple. We all understand blueprints. But then I will also add in and I will say, and it's also why you may not have gotten results that some of your peers got on specific meal plans or exercise programs. I'm going to let them know it's not you. You might have just had the wrong information. So, and we can all understand that. So I'm giving them the facts of what it is, but I'm also tugging on some heartstrings and say, you know what, if you've done a program in the past that didn't work, this could explain why. And in a person's mind, there's really not a price that you can put on that. So that's how I communicate that. I also know inside that this is based on fact. This is based on DNA. This is not my opinion. This is not their opinion. This is undisputable fact, and in facts, there are power. There is a great quote that says this. It says, believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. The reason why people fall off of fitness programs and meal plans is they don't have the confidence to stick it out. And then they're not happy at all. So our report is giving them that confidence because it is based by fact. And that's what we are going to hold on to. Now, we've all started meal plans, we've all started fitness programs and fallen off, right? Because we weren't getting results right away. But the truth of the matter is that if you stay consistent with the right program, you are gonna get results. And so with the DNA, it allows people to stay consistent longer because they know it's tailored to them. And you're gonna get people that get incredible results just by following this because they are simply being consistent. So let's talk about another quote from our friend Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And he says, success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work gains success. Greatness will come. So speaking of greatness, I am going to introduce you to one of my friends who had great results once she got in her DNA report, Miss Karen.
I'm so excited to share my story with you today. My name is Karen Bradley, and just like many of you, I've been riding that diet roller coaster for much of my adult life. And when I say roller coaster, I mean all of the ups and downs. I have tried all of the diets, and I would watch as they would work for all of my friends, but they would not work for me. And I didn't understand why. I thought there was something wrong with me, but it turns out I just wasn't doing the best thing for me. In fact, when I found IDLive, it was because I was looking for an electrolyte drink that was low carb because I was on the keto diet and I was getting keto headaches. Fast forward a few months and IDLive announced their DNA fitness and nutrition test. I was a little bit skeptical, but I was a little bit hopeful and I was willing to try one more thing. When I got my DNA report, it opened my eyes to what I was doing wrong. It opened my eyes to why I kept regaining my weight, and it pinpointed to other genetic factors that could also have contributed to some of my failures. So, the day that I got my DNA results, I was eating a clean keto diet, and I was working out 5 days a week. So I switched things up. Why? Because turns out I'm super sensitive to fats. So I started eating foods that were naturally lower in fat, and I just simply changed the pace of my workouts to better work with my body. And the result was 40 pounds. That's how much weight I lost by following the instruction of my DNA results. That DNA results, it finally got me off the diet roller coaster. I no longer have to guess what's going to work for my body. I know exactly what I need to do in order to succeed. That's the beauty of doing what's made for you.
Wasn't that a great story? And that is a story that I'm sure you have heard from customers that have gotten their report and taken action. They are no longer confused and they have the data in front of them. So I want to close with this last quote, and it's from Mark Twain. You may have heard it before, but I think it plays a big role here. And he says, "We can achieve what we can conceive and believe." And that is where the power is in the DNA report. When your customer gets that report back, they can conceive, they can understand that these are facts, this is what they need to do, and now they have the belief to take action and get results. Because remember, we're not only in a sales business, we are in a results business. And you are going to be selling results through facts, through belief, through consistency, which is going to yield greatness and testimonies that you can then share and help with other people. Isn't that exciting? And even more exciting is going to be our next speaker. Dawn Funk is one of my newest friends. She is perhaps probably one of the top 10 most incredible people I have ever met. She has been married for more than 20 years. She is the mom of 4 teenagers. I feel like I could stop now and we could all applaud her. She's from Cincinnati, Ohio. She had a cookie business, and you will see her on social media still making amazing cookies. She's been a college professor. She's been in this industry for over 8 years. There's so much I could go on and on about, but you will see, trust me. So keep your pen, keep your paper. You're gonna wanna take notes as Dawn shares her secrets to greatness.
Hi guys, Dawn Funk here, and I am so excited and so honored to talk to you today about the power of positivity, about how having the right mindset and the right attitude can make all the difference, not only in your business, but also in life. Guys, we have to get in the habit of training our brains to think positive, right? And so from the moment that we wake up until right when we go to bed, we have to be intentional with our thoughts. In fact, we need to get in the habit of being our biggest cheerleader. And let me just be real. Like, I was not a cheerleader, but I have taught myself to be my biggest cheerleader, to be my biggest encourager. And I've done that in several different ways, one of which is just surrounding myself with positive words, listening to positive podcasts, watching positive people and how they act and things that they say and do. In fact, just before I started filming this, I looked, and on my shelf right here, stay positive. Guys, I love surrounding myself with positive words of affirmation. And so today I want to talk to you guys about 3 key, powerfully positive perspective pieces of advice. Yes, I'm a former English professor, so I had to throw some alliteration in there. But for real, I want to talk to you about 3 key pieces of advice that I have had poured into me by 3 amazing mentors, amazing people over the course of my life. And so I want to take you guys back to 7th grade, a long, long, long time ago. So back in 7th grade, I had a teacher that believed in me before I believed in myself when it came to writing and getting in front of people and talking. Because I'm gonna be real, that is not my comfort level, and it certainly wasn't back then either. And so Mrs. Bowdle, that was her name, she encouraged me to be a part of the Optimist Club speech contest. Again, I was the chicken, right? The girl that didn't really say anything in class, but she poured that belief into me, and so she got me to participate in the speech contest, which, by the way, the topic was optimism a way of life. And let me tell you, working on this speech with her and doing research about so many powerful people from our past, like Thomas Edison and all of his failures, and the Wright brothers and all of their failures. And then I talked about the space shuttle Challenger and just all, everything, the devastation that happened with that. But science didn't stop because of all those failures, right? And so guys, that's the key here, is that we are going to fail and fail and fail. But those failures, if we look at them with the right mindset, with a positive, optimistic mindset, can help propel you into persevering and achieving your goals. And guys, trust me, I've had some tough things happen, and I'm sure you have too. In fact, about a year and a half ago, I was really sick, and I was going through all of these health challenges and health situations, and it was a frustrating time for me. But I just remember thinking, okay, I know that there's a lesson in this. I know that goodness is going to come from this. And I just kept reminding myself to be grateful that someday that all of this would serve a purpose, and maybe it would help other people. And that to me is one of the greatest things, is when I'm going through a struggle, if that struggle will help give strength to someone else. And so guys, I got through that. And, it's just been amazing now to pay that forward and help other people. And so I don't know about you, but sometimes, when I'm working my business, I get ignored. I get, people who don't respond to me. And here's the deal. I don't look at it as a negative thing. I look at it from an optimistic mindset of, you know what? Hey, at least I planted a seed, because you know what? It's never about our timing. It's always about other people's timing. And so I look at every person that I share with as an opportunity to plant a seed. All right, number 2. And this is another really powerful piece of advice passed on to me from my dear friend, Pam Fortner. I used to be a teacher, you guys, and I met this amazing woman many years ago, and she always had this line on every email that came from the library: someone would die to have your problems. And here's the deal. Pam's daughter, Melissa, had battled cancer multiple times, actually ended up passing away. But despite all of, obviously that heartache, even her daughter, when she was going through all of that chemotherapy and fighting for her life, she had this incredible blog that I used to follow. And it was always positive. It was always just so unbelievable, her mindset, and how she didn't focus on the negatives of her life, but she was always focused on the positives. And I'll tell you what, back when I started building my business, I was a full-time mom, 4 kids, a full-time school teacher, a part-time professor, the PTO president. I was the treasurer for my kids' soccer team. I made cookies. Here I am, right? Trying to fit direct sales into my life. And I remember there was a couple times that I wanted to have a pity party. I was like, I just don't know, if I can do this. And then I would get an email from Pam, from the librarian, saying someone out there would die to have your problems. And instantly it switched my perspective, and I was like, you know what? Suck it up, Buttercup, because you should be grateful that you have this extra, opportunity to bring in hope to your family. And so again, you guys, remember that you are so blessed. And that's my next little prop here. I want to hold this up because this sits in my house. Begin each day with a grateful heart. And I'm telling you what, having gratitude daily when you wake up, when you go to bed, whether it's something as simple as when you wake up, what is one thing that you are so grateful for? When you go to bed, what is something that you're so grateful for before you go to bed? And I'm telling you, get in that habit, train your brain to be grateful, and that will make a huge, difference in your life, okay? So, 1, optimism way of life. 2, someone would die to have your problems. And number 3, are you ready? All right, no guts, no glory, no story. Yep, I added that on myself to the end of that because I'm telling you what, guys, that's the power of who we are, what we do, is that our trials, our transparency, our struggles, our realness, our rawness, like that's part of our story. And that's what's going to inspire other people. But here's the deal. Like, you have to have courage, okay? You have to realize that you're going to have to get uncomfortable. And I want you to have a positive approach to that. A mindset of, you know what? Like, this might be really awkward and uncomfortable, but man, the outcome, the story, the lives I'm going to be able to change because of my example are going to be worth it. And I think of my dad. My dad is a Vietnam War veteran. And man, let me just tell you, you want to talk about guts, you want to talk about glory, you want to talk about someone who just persisted and has such a hard work ethic. I mean, he single-handedly built his own business when I was in high school, and I got to watch him. I got to see the work ethic. I got to see how he put people first, how he just had this dream in his heart, and how he just fought and fought and fought for that dream. And guys, that was what inspired me so much about the power of commitment, about the power of perseverance. And so I'm just going to be real. Like, when I said yes to direct sales at first, I had some fears, right? I had some stigmas of, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I would be good at this or not. I don't know if I have time. And so I started to have all these self-imposed limitations. And then, because remember, I've been working on training my brain, I'm like, you know what? But man, my dad, he sucked it up. He sucked up the excuses. He dug up the courage. And he has always modeled to me about fighting for the things that he wants in life. And so guys, I'm just really challenging you right now to really think about what you've said yes to. You have said yes to this powerful, positive, life-changing movement. And guys, we are going to make such an impact. And I'm telling you, like, we are going to deal with rejection, right? We're going to deal with people that might quit. But I'm telling you, with having that positive mindset, oh, and I got my little thing here. I got this whole little bowl of soldiers, okay? I keep this because my son is now in the Army. But I'm telling you, we can be an army of people out there changing so many lives because we are willing to fight, right? We are willing to have that positive mindset and make a difference. And so, you guys, again, I just want to review the 3 quick things that I talked about today, and I got all fired up. So I hope that has you fired up too. But man, just remember that you are always in control of your thoughts, to train your brain. It's a daily decision to be positive, to wake up positive and grateful, and to go to bed positive and grateful. So remember, optimism, a way of life. I hope you have that written down. Number 2, someone would die to have your problems. And number 3, no guts, no glory, no story. I'm telling you, your story is going to make a difference. And it is such an honor to do life better with you. So thank you so much. And just appreciate you guys so much. All right, and now I get to bring on one of my dearest friends. She is such a ray of light. And when I think about having the right mindset, the right attitude, oh my goodness, this woman, she absolutely exudes all of that. So it is a privilege and an honor to turn this over to Maria Woodall.
Hello, IDLive family. I am so excited to share with you guys today. I'm actually going to take you back about 7.5 years ago when I was introduced to the opportunity of direct sales in this incredible industry. Here's the kicker. I was not totally on board, okay? One, because I thought I don't ever want to be one of those people that walks into a room and everybody wants to leave because they think they're going to be sold something. And that was my perception of what the industry was like. Little did I know that being a busy mom of 3 boys, I was working. My husband coaches. He, is a financial analyst. We have a full plate of life that I would be able to help people grow in all areas of their life. And maybe today you're watching and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I I want to do well in this. Like, I want to succeed in what I'm doing. I want to grow a team. I want to help people get on product. Here is my encouragement to you, because here's what I know. You will not wake up every day thinking to yourself, I really, really want to do this. Like, I'm excited to do this. You won't, because life has a funny way of throwing you curveballs and you're not going to feel like doing it. Here's the one thing that I can tell you. I want you, every time that you start to think, oh man, can I do this? I'm really busy. All the excuses start to add up. I want you to act your way into a feeling. Does that make sense? So I want you to act the way that you want to feel, because what's going to start to happen is you're going to start to program your mind into acting the way that you want to feel. And what'll start to happen is you will start feeling that way. All right? The one thing that you're going to find in this is that over 99% of this business, and I'm telling you, those that are watching, they're going to be like, amen, she's right, it's up here. It's in between the ears, okay? It's your mindset. And here's what I can tell you is the things that you read, the people that you surround yourself with, who you have speaking into your life, it matters. It matters in every area of your life, not just your business. It matters in your family. It matters in your friendships. Here's why. Because what you're putting in is all up here, okay? The way you think, the way you speak, the way you act, all comes from the thoughts that are up here. The way you view yourself, the way you view your spouse, the way you view your kids, it all starts in your mindset. And so I'm gonna encourage you guys, okay? I want us all to grow in this area, because here's what I know. The more personal growth that you have, the bigger your organization will get, the more lives that you will impact. Light attracts light, okay? And there are so many people right now watching that are light bringers, that you are bringing light into so many people's lives. And it is an honor and a privilege to be able to do life better with you guys.
Oh my gosh, Maria, that was so amazing. Thank you so much for just always inspiring and always being so positive and so strong. And now I am so honored and so privileged to bring on another extraordinary lady. She is so much more than a friend. She is an incredible mentor in my life. She is one of the most positive people that I know. She has one of the most amazing hearts. In fact, a lot of people refer to her as Sweet Tea because she is the sweetest, most amazing woman on the planet. So it is my honor to bring on Tanya Parr.
So you have a new associate and they're ready to get started. Now what? How do you help them get off to a great start? Well, the very first thing I want to do is encourage you. I want to tell you that you can do this. What I'm going to share over the next few minutes is a simple, duplicatable, and proven system to help somebody get up, get going, and get their business off to a great start. It's based on an acronym that's easy to remember. And if it's easy to remember, then they can then feel confident as they're growing to remember it when and if they get new associates. That acronym is PALS, and isn't that perfect for what we do in IDLive? Because we're all about relationships. PALS is how we're going to help break down the system of helping a new associate get started. Let's start first with a very important, really the cornerstone of walking your new associate through, and that is the P. In fact, make sure that your associate has a pen and a piece of paper. They may be sitting around their kitchen table. Y'all are in my kitchen with me right now. It may be virtual, wherever, but you want them to get it down on a piece of paper because basically this is their business plan. The P is for purpose. Why are they doing IDLive? Help them define that. Have them write down the sentence, I want to start IDLive so that, and then let them talk. Let them fill in the blank, whatever it is for them. Maybe it's soccer dues. Maybe it's school payment. Maybe it's groceries. Maybe it's replacing a job. It can be anything. Each and every person gets to individually design their business and their purpose, just like we're individually designed IDLive. Isn't that perfect? So purpose is the foundation, that cornerstone. The next letter is A. You want to help your person get to associate. Now, we're talking about that they already are an associate, but if they're not yet, help them decide, do they want to choose the $249 option without the DNA or the $349 option with the DNA? They've got to be an associate to get their business started. The second A there is to take the assessment. Now, maybe they've already taken it before, maybe they've already been on product, but if not, want to make sure that they take the assessment. Remember, that's what sets us apart, that globally patented assessment, and get their ID Nutrition, their free box, their free month of ID Nutrition on the way that comes with their associate order. So it's purpose, and then it's associate and assessment. Now we're going to go to the next letter, which is L. And in IDLive, our working capital is not money. It's not opening a brick and mortar business. Everything we do is run through virtual. Our office and everything is online. So the L is super important because we've got to have people to talk to. So you want to help your new associate sit down and start making a list. Now, on that list, they're going to start thinking about who do they know. That's a game I've been playing myself and playing with people for a lot of years now. Who do you know? Now, a really simple way to do this is to take your piece of paper and have your associate write down basically a T. So they're going to have a T separated in the middle, and they're going to have the T, and you're going to have product names on one side and business prospects on the other. As you're working with your new associate, remind them that it's not up to them to prejudge. These are just ways that they can get conversations going and that they can sort people in their own minds and know how to go and begin working through that list, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. So on the product side, you want them just to start thinking, who do they know that is looking for weight loss, is always on a diet, talking about a diet? Who do they know that could use some more energy? Isn't that everybody in the U.S.? Isn't that everybody we know? Who do they know that is working out? Who do they know that has kids? Who do they know that values health and nutrition? Those are names that are going to go over on the product side. Now, over on the business side, you want to help them begin to think of people they know that are working second jobs, overtime, that are doing the gigs that are so popular today, like driving Uber or Lyft, or maybe they're doing lawns on the weekends, or maybe they're tutoring after school. Who are people who are already hustling and trying to make their lives better by bringing in extra income? And then there's another list that you want to put in there, and that you want to add some names that you want to add to that business prospect list. And that's people who are entrepreneurial. Who are people that you know that are always thinking of what are some ways that I could have my own business? And then people that you know that would really be kind of a dream team for you will go over on that side as well. So you have your product list that you're helping your new person with. You have the business list that you're helping them with, and they're getting it on paper. Now, after the L, we come to the system of getting a new person started. You know, most people are going to come to IDLive. They're going to be working jobs, have busy lives already, and they're going to be adding this into the nooks and crannies of their lives. Well, opening their business works right along with that. And here's how it goes. The first thing in the system is sit down with them and help them package their story. Where were they before they started on IDLive products? No medical claims, of course. That's super important. But what was their day like before IDLive? What are some benefits that they've already seen? Are they sleeping better at night? Have they lost some weight? I almost said, have they lost some lbs? Have they lost some weight? Are they feeling better overall? What are some benefits that they're having? And then the third part of helping them package their story is, what are some lifestyle changes that they made to go along with that? Maybe they had their DNA results, and due to what they learned in their DNA report, they were able to lose those pounds. Or maybe it's that they are working out, or maybe they're sleeping better due to the sleep strips. Whatever it is that they've done from a lifestyle perspective, add that as well. Help them talk through their story so that they feel confident sharing it when they begin to talk to someone about IDLive. So they've got their story down. The next thing you want to do is go back with them to their list. And on that list, you want to help them identify, say, who would your top 10 people on this list be? And I say just put an asterisk by the names. They may be in the product, they may be in the business, they may be on both sides, but put an asterisk by their top 10 because those are going to be people that they want to go to quickly. And then from there, I go one step further and I have them circle their top 3. Their top 3 are people that they would want to know about IDLive. If the tables were turned, like if it was my best friend Sandy, I'd want her to tell me if she was finding out about IDLive first. If it was my brother and he was hearing about IDLive, I'd want him to tell me about IDLive first. Help them identify their top 3 out of the top 10. Then you want to set a time to help them share IDLive with that person. So out of their top 3, tell them I'll be available. And when you're talking to them, you can add me in on a 3-way call. Or maybe they talk to that person and you schedule a Zoom, or maybe you sit down with their top 3. So that's the next step. So you literally are narrowing down their list with them. Now, the next thing is you want to schedule their opening night, and you want to be a part of that. They have to let people know that their IDLive business is up and going. That can be by inviting people into their home for a healthy hour and on their opening night, or they can have their opening night online where you are with them. And if you're new, you may want to get your leader with you to help share IDLive with their group of friends out of their list that they are inviting to their opening night. So they've got their story, they've narrowed down their list, they know who they're talking to in their top 10, their top 3, they're inviting people to their opening night. Their business is up and going by the time you're getting these things going, as far as on the calendar, identifying the list, and their business plan is coming together. But it doesn't stop there. In their associate order, in their bundle, they're going to get products for themselves and talk to them about sharing some products with samples as well. Maybe the people who are looking for weight loss, they get them a sample of Slim Plus. The people who are tired, some energy or a sleep strip. You want to get them sampling some products, getting those into people's bodies so that they can feel it. What I say is I like to smell it because that new orange energy, oh my goodness. I love to smell it, taste it, feel it, and love it. That is what has happened for me since I've been on that IDLive energy. I love Slim Plus as well. Sleep has been a game changer for me, and I'm comfortable sharing my story, and you want to be comfortable with yours and teach your new associate to do the same. So we've got all of these steps in place. The next one is help them go social. Help them with a curiosity post to get out into social media that they are doing IDLive, that their business is open. Give them some ideas of things to post, not just an IDLive product, because that's very sterile. But you know, I'm feeling great since I've added this energy to my day. I've got energy when I got home to be outside with the kids right now. There's different ways that they can open up their social media, sharing those ideas on social media. Speaking of social media, the final piece of this is getting connected. Make sure your new associate is connected to the IDLive official associates page, to the corporate page. That's the one that people from the outside can look in at IDLive, that they're on both of those. If you have team pages, that they're on those. And if you have a product page or you have a look at IDLive page, you want to teach them how to use the ATM method to add, to tag, and message friends when they are reaching out either in person, on the phone, text, on social media, using that as well as part of their getting started process. So that's the system: purpose, associate and assessment, list, and then the system. Now, the final thing I want to do is encourage you to encourage them. In fact, all of us encourage ourselves to set goals. Set goals, because here's what I know is if I am going for something, and if a new person is going for something, or you're going for something, we're going to be much more apt to hit it. 2 great goals when you're getting started, and for all of us, is to go for the new associate bonus, the $75 for $750 of QV, which is qualifying volume of new business. You can learn about that online. You may know about that as well. I'm not going to go in the details here. The second thing that you want them to go for is the 3 and free on ID Nutrition and their Slim Plus. So when they're getting their order in, ask them to get those two things on scheduled delivery so that they can go for their 3 and free with their Slim Plus and their ID Nutrition. That's really money in the bank because it's money not coming out of their product. So I'm not going to go into the details of how to earn those, but get in the conversation with your people with those as well. Well, speaking of people, speaking of pals, I want y'all to hear from someone who has done it. Someone who got started in their IDLive business, got it up and going because they've been teachable, coachable, had a strong purpose, and took these opening steps, walked through the process, and has done it. So y'all welcome my great friend, longtime friend at this point, Danielle Butler. Danielle, take it away.
Thank you, Tanya. Hello, everybody. Like she said, my name is Danielle, and I live with my husband, Jonathan, in Gainesville, Georgia. And our journey with network marketing actually goes back 8 years ago. At that time, we were newlyweds. I was just 26. I was a middle school teacher. My husband was in the construction industry and owned his own business. And we were already super involved in so many different things. We were really busy. So we knew to make this work for our family, it was going to have to be really, really simple and something that we could easily teach to other people who were just as busy as we were and as busy as you are. And so we've been using PALS for the past 8 years, and it has blessed our family tremendously and helped so many other people to be able to get their businesses off to a quick start. So when we first started our journey with IDLive, we knew we had to identify our why. What was our purpose for doing this? What was going to drive us enough to want to intentionally work this and share with others in an already really busy season of life? Because our purpose has changed over the last 8 years, and you're probably going to find that happens for you too in different seasons of life. So throughout those 8 years, we have added 4 kiddos. So they're all 6 and under, and I'm now a homeschool mom. So we just added our last brand new baby to the mix. I won't say last, but a brand new baby to the mix in the Butler household. And so my husband still is in the construction industry, still is a business owner. So for us, we had just lost a really substantial income, and we were using IDLive income to be able to maintain our lifestyle, this new normal that we had created for our employees. Things like being able to afford organic groceries. And that might sound silly to some, but it was important to me. I wanted them to be able to continue with their music lessons. And I wanted to be able to continue to fund these ministries that we're passionate about, that we feel called to give financially to support. And so IDLive was going to fill in those gaps for us, but we knew we had to treat it like a business. So it made perfect sense, getting straight to that associate level. For many reasons, we wanted to save the most money on our own personal products because we absolutely love all of the products. But we also knew that as business owners, that just made the most sense. So we jumped right into that associate level, and we started immediately creating that list. And so that was so exciting for me to think about people that I hadn't been able to reach out to before, or that weren't interested previously. Like, for example, my friend comes to mind she's a nutritional therapy practitioner, and clean products are so important to her. She loves to help other people. So IDLive has been such a great fit. She was number 1 on my list. She's been on my dream team forever, but IDLive opportunity just makes sense for her. And so immediately she was one of the first people that I reached out to, and we got them connected with Benji and Tanya Parr, our mentors in the business. And anytime we can do it in person, we want to do it in person. A lot of times technology bridges that gap so they can still see the face. So it's just as simple as using that system, working from that list, which is constantly growing as we meet new people and as we develop relationships. And sometimes that's with other moms in music class, or sometimes it's reconnecting with friends online that I haven't seen in a while. But we're real intentional about that list, working from that. And then once we have created that conversation, getting them plugged into the system. Just last week, we had people plugged into the corporate Zooms. And then now in the follow-up, we're scheduling a Zoom with Benji and Tanya. We've got one tomorrow to get some brand new people who are interested in the business side connected for that third-party credibility. They already loved everything they saw with IDLive. They trusted us enough to take a listen in the beginning. There's something magical about that third-party credibility that just really works. So we're so excited to get them connected. And so Benji and Tanya have done such a great job of providing that opportunity for us. If we just continue to work the system and teach that to the brand new person, then they can do that same thing and teach that to the people in their world. And that's how this business grows and multiplies and explodes. So we have had a lot of success with that over the last 8 years, and specifically in seeing some fast starts with IDLive and helping some people get some quick wins. So that has worked for us. PALS, purpose, associate, list, and system. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, my name is Frank Kilroy, and I'm here to give you a short training on simplicity and having a work ethic. Now, here's one thing I want you to understand. These are two things that was drilled into me by my father as a young man. And I brought it right here to this industry, and it has been a valuable tool for what it is that we do. So one of the things that I learned the first when I got involved with this industry is keep it simple, right? So here's what we do here at IDLive, right? We just basically simply do two things. We get customers and we get customer getters. So our focus should be on to make our business grow is simply doing those two things, right? So what are customer getters? Simply associates. That's you guys that are here viewing this and actually out here building our business, helping other individuals to do life better. Now, let's talk about the 5 impeccable work ethics, the 5 things that we need to do. All right, so here we are. We need to be fearless. We need to be focused. We need to be committed. We need to be disciplined, and more importantly, never give up. So as we dive right in, let's just first of all, let's define what fear really is. And this could be one time and moment in history that we seeing fear at an all-time level. But at the same time, we'll see so many individuals that will grow during this impeccable time. Right? Because here's what fear is. When I tell people all the time, fear has 2 meanings. One meaning is simply forget everything and run, right? Just give up and focus on what we see in our face every single day. The other one is just to face everything and rise. So while each and every last one of us have that choice, let's make sure we choose wisely. And the second thing is simply to focus. And focus just simply means one thing. Follow one course until successful. And I will tell you, we have the greatest advocate team and leadership of anybody else in the industry. So when we are focused on the tools that we have in front of us, which are powerful, from our back office to our app and our conference calls and listening to our leaders and our CEO, Logan Stout, with the tools that he's given us and our company and our leadership with Laura Brandt and all the others, then we'll find out that those tools are really designed for each and every last one of us to be successful. All right. And the third thing, we have to be committed. When you look at commitment, what it really means, this just simply means doing what you said you would do long after the feeling you said it in has left you. Meaning that when we first get involved, I know I did, and we looked at, wow, when I first got involved 5 years ago and I said customized nutrition, to me, it was like a no-brainer, right? For many of you all, there are associates out there, because for the first time, science can actually define who we are and what it is that our body needs. And then we look at what happened with a year ago when we combined it with DNA. I mean, we're talking game changer. Nobody else is doing that. So we get excited. But you have to be committed. And commitment is simply once, you got involved and you hear the no's and people aren't, answering your calls, or perhaps you're not getting the likes that you need, okay, have that commitment level begin to descend, right? So we have to be all in. It's so important that even when the feeling that we set it in has left us, that we're still committed. And then the next thing, which is one of my favorite, guys, discipline. And we all heard terms that, you'd rather be ignorance on fire than knowledge on ice. I would say it's better to have discipline on fire than knowledge on ice. Now, what does that mean? That means that, let's just say we have all the other key qualities, meaning that we're simply someone who is fearless, or perhaps we stay focused, or perhaps we even committed, okay? Or perhaps we maybe don't even quit. But here's the thing. Let's say you had all of those other qualities that I spoke on and going to speak on, but you didn't have discipline. Here's the thing. It doesn't work. And I'll just tell you, okay? But here's the thing. You could lack every other quality and have discipline, and everything else will actually work. Because discipline is being able to force yourself to do something in spite of how you feel over and over until it becomes a habit, right? So we have to get to the point where our discipline is so strong and such at a high level that we can actually be able to continue to do things until it's a habit. Meaning that for me, getting on a conference call, it's just a habit to wake up and get on a conference call with my leaders. You know, discipline, it's just a habit to make sure that we're tuning in to the lunch and learns. I mean, these things are just things that we're doing. Now, it's no different than working a job, right? Because it's a habit for us to wake up, you know, to get in the car, to drive, you know what I'm saying, to build someone else's dream. So what I am sharing with you is how you can take that same discipline to build your own dreams. And then of course, you'll see how things in your business and how many lives you'll be able to change and how many people you can help to do life better. Now, I want to introduce you to a lady who have absolutely done just those things. I mean, she is absolutely someone who is fearless. She is focused, you know, she is committed, and she absolutely have discipline. She has to be, because she has a non-for-profit organization and it requires her to split her time. So she has to be very diligent as to how she does the things that she do. Will y'all please give it up and let us give a moment for her to give us her story, and that's none other than Marsha Eggins.
IDLive gives us the best opportunity ever. We can win an incentive trip, and that incentive trip can be yours if you put what Frank Kimbrough said into action. He didn't get to where he is as a national presidential director by just sitting back. You have to work hard. I am living proof that when you put your mind to it, when you become creative and dedicated and maybe take a bunch of road trips to make sure that your team is together, you can win the incentive trip. I was so excited when I stepped off the plane and saw Punta Cana. It was the vacation that I needed, and it was a real payoff for all of my hard work. So thanks, IDLive. Meet me in paradise this year.
Thank you, Marsha. That was absolutely amazing. And I will tell you, she is such an amazing leader and such an inspiration even to myself. And I will tell you that deeply from my heart. So here's the next thing. Let me give you the most important things, guys, is never give up, right? Stick and stay until you get your pay. No matter what you do, put your helmet on and let's get out here and let's get to work. Now, at this time, what I would like to do is just share with you some of the fun that we had and some of the fun that we're going to have, you know, of course, in 2020. But I want you to look what you can look forward to as it is by watching this short video of Destination Paradise, where me, along with other leaders in the company, and we're looking forward to each and one of you all joining us on the next Destination to Paradise incentive trip. Watch this video.
The biggest thing that I've loved about this week is just the camaraderie. Being around so many amazing leaders and having that relaxed downtime to really discuss what's working, sharing tips, strategies. I just know that when we get back, we're going to be refreshed, renewed, and ready to go crush it. That's been my favorite part.
This incentive trip was very unique. So what I enjoyed most was the coming together of two families. You know, I liken it to a family reunion for some people you never met. Start off a little shaky, not knowing whose green beans you should eat, perhaps. By the end of the time, by the end of the event, you fall in love with everybody. So I really think this is going to be the pinnacle event for our company, and you got to get here. You got to get here.
So I look at this place and I just think, okay, number one, we're playing, of course. We're doing a little bit of work, but we're doing it at this amazing resort, and we're doing it on the beach, and everything's paid for. And I just think if you just come one time, I know, if you just come one time, you'll never miss another one, because the experience you leave here with, you want to come back for over and over and over again.
My favorite memory of Destination Paradise 2019 was meeting my family. I mean, it felt like a long-lost family reunion, different cities, different counties, all that kind of stuff. But man, it was a reunion factor. That's what I loved, absolutely loved.
this has been an amazing trip. You know, we've gone a lot of different beautiful places, and I gotta tell you, IDLive does everything first class. This is one of the best resorts that we've ever been at. The accommodations are phenomenal. We've never had to pull out our wallet for anything. You've got to see the resort and the sights here, but I'll tell you, the best thing for us has absolutely been the people, the culture we have here, the leadership, the value that's been added into our life, that's been added into our marriage. You just can't find this anywhere, and those are the types of things that we want to seek out. We never want to miss another IDLive incentive trip.
One of the best parts of IDLive are the unbelievable incentive trips that you have an opportunity to earn. You just saw highlights from our 2019 Destination Paradise. And I know so many of you are working towards Destination Paradise 2020. And I know everyone wants to know, where are we going? So let's find out together.
There's a special vibe at Breathless Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa that attracts socially sophisticated adults seeking a balance of energy and relaxation. Meet and mingle in the Accelerate Zone, where the hottest DJs fuel the party. The Energy Zone gives you even more ways to raise your heart rate. Or just breathe deep and relax in the luxurious Exhale Club. Let your mood be your compass. Gourmet dining and curated cocktails? Absolutely. Unlimited luxury treats you to all you want, whenever you want. And our cutting-edge entertainment, live music, and celebrity DJs exclusively right at your fingertips. So come, let yourself go, make new connections, and reconnect with the true you. Live big, breathe deep, with the unlimited luxury of Breathless Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa.
Join us in paradise on November 4th through the 8th. Visit scoop.idlife.com for details on how you can qualify. See you there.
Destination Paradise 2020 is going to be a trip of a lifetime. And I'll tell you what, when you look at that resort, all inclusive, the experience, the beach, the food, it's going to be first class all the way. You know what the best part's going to be? Is who you're going to be on the trip with. Other associates in IDLive, and you're going to get to experience that with them. The community is going to be second to none. And speaking of not wanting to miss this trip, because you do not want to miss it, we already have so many associates who've earned their way to Destination Paradise 2020, and we want to recognize those individuals right now. As we're taking a look at the list of earners, this list is in alphabetical order. Take a moment to maybe find your name, a friend, a team member, your leader, and if you find someone, why don't you send them a text message right now and congratulate them on earning Destination Paradise 2020. And for those that are still working towards earning Destination Paradise 2020, I want you to know that in your back office, we have a tracker specifically for you. This tracker will show you your qualification date period, and it'll show you the volume that you have already towards the trip and how much volume is left for you to earn the incentive trip. Make sure after IDLive today that you go find your incentive trip tracker in your back office, see how far you are away from earning this unbelievable incentive trip, and then make it a goal and strive to join us on Destination Paradise 2020. And you know, it's been an incredible day. And to give us some of the key highlights from today and to introduce our final speaker, I'm gonna turn this back over to my dear friend, Coach Mike Wade.
Hey team, I know that we've put a lot on you today, but guess what? We've held some reveals for tomorrow too. This is going to be a special 1-2 punch. You had the first half today with some reveals and some great training from great trainers. The second half will be just as powerful as the first half. world-class presenters talking about what they do on a day in and day out basis to improve their business and to improve the businesses of everyone that wants to be part of IDLive. We want to make sure you stay tuned for that. And there'll be some reveals. We held back some of the suspense here and what we're going to do. So there will be some reveals going on. And so we want to make sure you're aware of that. And what I would say is, if there were people on your team that were not here today, who do you know that you would like to contact immediately and say, you know what? They are telling us things to prepare us for us to be the best that we can be as we're building our business. Stay tuned for tomorrow. And I would ask them to join tomorrow's training, which is the same time as we launched today. But with all that being said, please stay tuned. I want to talk to you about the next and final presenter. Had an opportunity to travel with this person back in June when a lot of people just came up from IDLive. We were traveling across the country. I was in his pickup truck. We had stopped at a gas station to refill. And so there was a guy standing on the side of the street, shirtless, with a pair of shorts and a pair of flip-flops. That's all he had. He had a sign that says, "Need money." Typically, I'm going to tell you the truth, those kind of people sometimes scare me in an environment where it's out on the road. But my friend stopped and he said, "What's going on?" And the person explained about his sister that had been ill in California. He lived in a state away, but he didn't have the money. He said, "I've got a job, I've got a car, I've simply run out of money to have the gas to get where I need to go." So my friend said, "Follow me over here to the gas pump." He gets out, he pays for the gas, and he gives him some money. When my friend got back in the truck, I said, "Wow, what was that about?" And he said, "Coach, everybody has a story. And we should be in a position in life we can help other people any way we can without looking for anything to gain." That encapsulates this next person. He lives in the state of Iowa, but he's got the heart the size of Texas. Please help me welcome our friend, Joe Hadacek.
Thanks, Coach Wade, for those kind comments. Well, what's next? You've heard a world-class training today. Unbelievable in terms of the content and what you can do with it. Now it's up to you. But I know as I look back after so many years of being in the direct sales business, there were certain events that just took our business and moved it forward to the next level. And I don't know about you, but if there's one thing that people are really craving right now, it's probably community, it's a handshake, it's a hug by those teammates you've recruited, or by those guests that you're going to talk to because you're looking to change their life with the IDLive movement. So guess what? Here's what we've got a plan to do. Many of you were probably involved last year when we did SummerSlam. It was an event, or actually a series of events, that took the whole company to the next level. And it was because we bought into it. We talked about it. We took action. We put the dates on the calendar, and we stuck some flags in the sand to take territory. Well, guess what? Because of that eruption, right during the slow part of typically a year of direct sales in June, July, August, we had an explosion. And here's the deal. We've got another plan. This one is Operation USA. And as you can tell from the flag right behind me, red, white, and blue, United States of America, the greatest country in the world. Men and women have fought to keep it that way. They allow us to have the free enterprise system where we can do whatever we want. And the only thing you have to decide is, do you want in? Do you want in? So it doesn't matter how long you've been in IDLive. It just matters, do I want to stick a flag in the sand? Do I want to take territory and basically move this company to the next level? Because you can. So here's the game plan. We're going to kick this off on June 15th and run all the way until August 15th. You can take any day you want. You can pick any place you want. But here's the thing. When you put a date on the calendar, you take ownership. You understand how to promote it. You understand what it takes to have a successful event with an open, the medium, and the close of that event. And we'll have some resources from our first class people at the front office that'll make it easy for you if you want to run a slide deck and just follow that through, or if you want to do it just in front of the room and talk about what IDLife's done for you and anybody else in the room. We're going to equip you with the tools to make that happen. Our corporate office has been behind every single movement we've made to take this to the next level, and this one's going to be no different. But because of the price paid for that red, white, and blue flag, we have the IDLive movement. And I don't know where you know anybody anywhere, but we'll have a giant USA map with dots on it where territory is being taken. And you have to just ask yourself, who do I know? Who do I know in any of these areas? Because really, right now, the majority of the United States is virgin territory. We're approaching our 6th birthday on May 1st. And when that happens, we're still a young company. I'm thankful for the pioneers, those guys and gals, those couples, that when this company started with Logan Stout as the head coach, I can't imagine how difficult it was. I have all the respect in the world for every single one of those people, no matter if they've been in 1 day before we got in, or 100 days, or 5 or 6 years, because the price paid has allowed us to open up the door for today's opportunity. Today's opportunity. People are hungry right now, guys. They will be running to these events. They're going to be wanting to get there early because they want to see people. They don't want to stand behind a computer screen anymore. They're screaming for community. They're screaming for real people. And if there's anybody that's ever told you differently, they have no clue. They've never built a giant team that truly cares about the dynamics of a relationship built within every single person on that team. Relationships are the foundation which great teams are built. Relationships, that takes time. There's so many opportunities to really talk to people on the phone or on a computer, but when you really get eyeball to eyeball, you see the heart of that person and you understand that there's difficulty that you're going to have to overcome, you create a relationship. And they're bonds that last forever. And then when the stiff winds blow, when tough times like we've been going through, that happens across the United States, guess what? It stays. It stays intact because you paid a price for that team. You paid a price to put every single person as an important member of that team and every single component that it takes to build a championship ball club. And here's the thing, we're gonna have fun doing this. We are gonna have fun doing this. So you can have this wherever you want. You can have it in your living room, you can have it in your garage, you can have it in a community center. You can even pick whatever night during the week you wanna have it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever you wanna have it. But all I ask, and all the company asks, is that when you commit, you're all in. Now, where am I gonna get this information? Basically, you can go to thescoop.idlive.com. That's always the headquarters for events. It'll give you more information as we get going closer to June 15th. But really the first 30 days of events, you're gonna wanna register your event. So start thinking about where you wanna have these on June 1st. That link will open up on June 1st. Again, all that information is on thescoop.idlive.com. And that'll be the headquarters for right now until you hear differently. So the details are gonna be phenomenal. June 15th all the way to August 15th. And when we did SummerSlam, we hit approximately 70 different cities, 70 different events. And it was instrumental to climbing this company to the next level. But here's the thing, if we don't hit at least 100, that bar of 100, we're not doing our job as leaders, all right? Lead by example. Every single leader ought to be looking forward to having at least one event during that 60-day period. You can do it. In fact, I'd get my team leaders together and I'd say, who wants in? Who's gonna have one of these on the calendar? Be smart about planning them. You don't want them too close together. You don't wanna have one event like an hour away from another event and they're back-to-back nights. You have to be strategic in terms of territory because if somebody can't get there maybe this week, they can get there the next week. So some places may have 2 different events in the same city. That's gonna happen. When you have more people involved in the company, that's gonna happen. But I'm telling you, that's where you have synergy. It's with your cross-line friends, it's with the prospects, it's with your customers, it's keeping it real simple. Keeping it real simple. The art of promotion is key. What am I promoting? Who am I trying to get there? And here's the thing, you're gonna get results out of it. I've never been to a large group event where something hasn't happened that's bumped our business some way. There's always things going on in large group events. And we're calling this Operation USA. And as I mentioned, you've got the red, white, and blue flag right behind me. And I'm telling you what, there's no finer flag that flies on a flagpole than that one. I'm extremely proud to live in the United States. But here's what also we're gonna do. You did this last year if you joined us. We're gonna take the IDLive flag and we're gonna be planting this flag. We're gonna be sticking this flag in the sand, in the ground, everywhere we go. And you have a chance to be a part of that. You have a chance to be a part of that. There was so much team synergy going on. People taking their pictures after the events last year. They were autographing the flag before it was kicked off. They were putting the flags up in their house, in their garage, in their workout facility, proudly displaying the colors of IDLive. as we take the IDLive movement across the United States. And as a team, I'll tell you what, we are just beginning. We are just beginning. But as we continue to pioneer these different territories, I will reflect on a story that personally happened to me. I'll tell you what, when we started out, first time in direct sales, when we started out, there was nobody that had heard of the company. There was nobody that heard of it. And they're like, I've never heard of it. You know, where is it? And we'd have to explain it. That is the same type of opportunity, for the most part, that we have right now in IDLive. You're gonna have to explain IDLive. What's that mean? Individually designed life, right? Individually designed life. Something that separates us from the pack of everything else out there. The DNA, all right? The personalized nutrition, our lifestyle products, the way we do business, and most importantly, our leadership. And it starts at the top with our CEO, Logan Stout. There's not a finer leader because he's lived it, he's breathed it, and he's an example of what it takes to be the ultimate tier champion that has the vision to take this thing coast to coast. So whether if you live at the bottom of Texas, the top of Minnesota, or if you're way over in California or Washington, or all the way on the East Coast in Virginia, Washington, D.C., New York, Florida, it doesn't matter. It matters, where do you want to put your flag into the territory? Stick the flag. Where do you want to plant your flag? And I'm excited, and Gloria and myself are just happy to be a part of this movement. And I just want to thank you for this opportunity to close out today and talk about tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to rock. And I look forward to seeing you there. So thanks for your time, and let's rock this thing.